Hey guys, welcome to another ITL Into the Lair. Had a good week. It was an interesting week, and I've gotten so many questions recently that a lot of them we've covered bits and pieces. And so, what I'm going to try to do today is organize a lot of these questions into one concentrated ITL. Will's going to edit it down for us and make sure I don't get too boring today. And then we might continue this a little bit next week, so we'll keep you posted on that. But I'm going to take you through, let's just call it the process of starting a mix and getting into a mix. Usually what happens is someone will reach out to me, and I like to hear an MP3. I don't turn mixes down necessarily from an MP3, but I just kind of like to know what I'm getting into. You know, is it going to be? Am I going to have to clear out a day, 2 days, whatever? Is it finished? Is there a possibility that they might not finish on time? Anyway, lots of things, and then I always make notes on my first impressions of the MP3 or when I first hear the rough, because I think that's my most important contribution to the mix, is kind of understanding what's great and what can be improved. And then I'll call the producer or the artist or the label and try to get a feel for, you know, the thought process of the producer, and make sure that I'm part of him, of that entity. I'm part of that person's vision for what the song should be, and then complete my job, which is to finish that element of the production, which is the mix part of the production. Oh my goodness, it's Beyonce. Hold on. Hey B, can't work now on ITL. So I want you to pay attention, and hopefully this will answer a lot of the questions I've been getting. So after I talk to that person, then we get the session, and you've seen how Drew sets it up for me. And so the first thing I'll do is I'll play the rough mix. Here's a little piece of the rough mix. This group, by the way, is called FYI for Your Instincts. It's a new group. I think they're incredible. They've got Addis rapping, Linus, really cool rapper, and then I think an up and coming great rapper, Viper's in the group. So you'll be hearing this soon. And here was the rough they sent.
Buonasera, señorita. Yeah, I love your smile. Nice to meet you.
Pretty doggone good rough mix, which always intimidates me a little bit, because you want to impress people, So I listened to that, and I really liked everything I heard. I felt like maybe I could hip up the drums a little bit, make the vocals punch out a little more. Just kind of standard things. This mix didn't require any repair work. It was recorded really well, tracked really well, and so the interesting thing about this particular song is it has Sean Kingston on it, and it also has Snoop on it. So immediately I wanted to hear what Snoop sounded like. So I started actually with Snoop. When I first heard Snoop, I thought, man, that sounds really good. Snoop is so distinctive. He's just got that drawl, I guess you can call it, that we all love. So actually, I think I could be wrong, but I think Snoop recorded this vocal himself. So it wasn't exactly what I would call ready to go on a record, but it was pretty doggone close. So I ended up going with Channel Strip. I thought it sounded a little better. So you can see I'm adding a little 10K, a little 8K, and then the Snoop frequency. This makes Snoop sound like Snoop right here in this 600-700 range. On and on. You guys can look at that. So let me show you what that added. Here's without it.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give.
Okay, now here's with it.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give it up. Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give it up. Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough.
So, having heard that right now, I might add a little bit more higher. Let's see if that makes.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give it up.
Kind of gives it a little more bottom, doesn't it, Will? Now, I felt there was a little bit of a mid-range thing going on that I won't say bad or wrong. It's just, I don't know, just kind of caught my ear. But there were times when Snoop got kind of breathy and low where I liked it. So I pulled up our old buddy, C1SC.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to.
Let me show you the frequency that I thought was kind of.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give it up.
So that's the frequency that I'm using the compressor to control.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to.
And this is without it.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give it.
Okay. So that's what we added. Then this is a compressor I kind of like on raps. It's obviously it's a Waves compressor R-Box. Okay, here's without it.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give it up. Ladies.
Okay, so now this is with it.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to.
Now, I've got the gain a little low, but I'm not gonna change. Yeah, I can change that. Just kind of give us a good A/B.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give it up. Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give it up.
Okay, so now the gain's even, and then it really didn't need much de-essing. And if you remember last week, I didn't want to go nuts, so I just took a little bit off.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give it up.
More, you know what? I don't even like that.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got.
Glad I listened to it, because that's just way too much.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub.
Yeah, that's better, isn't it?
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub.
You guys just saved me a recall, thanks. That was way too much. Okay, so now this is everything. I'm kind of proud of this. I came up with this effect, and I really like it. I think it's really good for raps. I'll show it to you in a second. This is without it. Well, you've been hearing it without it. Let me go ahead and add it on. Let's see.
Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give. Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give. Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give. Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give. Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give. Ladies love Snoopy Deagle Dub. I rock to get enough. You got to give.
Huh? I bet you're wondering what I did, huh, Will? Okay, check this out. What I did is I took Waves doubler and I added a little bit of tuning and detuning, and then a not sizable chunk of delay, not quite a slap, but a pretty good delay, and then of course pan that. And then I'm feeding that into an equalizer, which I'm not actually doing much of, and then running that through our old buddy S1 imager, and just adding a little lower mids, I'm adding some high end, rolling off a little mud. But I think that's a great effect, and now I'm sending a piece of this effect to a Hall on the Bricasti, and I'm also sending a piece of it to this lexicon. All right, so I think that takes care of Snoop. So once I got Snoop going, now it gave me a reference for some of the other rappers, and I did similar things. I'll just show you a little piece of Addis's rap.
La, yeah, buonasera, signorita. Yeah, I love your smile. La, yeah, buonasera, signorita. Yeah, I love your smile. La, yeah, buonasera, signorita. Yeah, I love your smile. La, yeah, buonasera, signorita. Yeah, I love your smile. La, yeah, buonasera, signorita. Yeah, I love your smile. La, yeah, buonasera, signorita. Yeah, I love your smile. La, yeah, buonasera, signorita. Yeah.
Okay, continuing on, I just showed you some things, and then our votes. We've already seen that.
La, yeah.
So after that, I started on checking out the track. So I put everything up, and I've got some instruments and some drums. Everything's pretty basic, nothing earth shattering. It was all really well recorded. I really like what we did on the drums. This is what we were given. Now, I added a sample to that. And then here's the parallel chain we talked about. Here, I'm sending this to the compressor. I always put that on pre. Here's my parallel track. Basic little compressor. Basic little low end. There's nothing special about using the Pultec for this. In the digital world, anything will work. Same thing with a compressor. I had a little faster attack time, and Drew came in and told me, "Hey man, check this." So he slowed the attack down, and I love what happened. So let me show you that. Without it, with it. This is just the parallel track. That's what we're adding. All right, guys, so that kind of takes you, hopefully that answers a lot of your questions that I've been getting recently about getting started, thought process, all that. As usual, I sent the drums to their own aux, and then I put a compressor on that, sent the vocals to their own aux. And the only thing different about the vocal aux this time is I just touched it with a little bit of UAD 1081 top end on that, and then fed all four of those auxes, vocal, drums, music, and effects, to my stereo bus, and then I put a little bit of L2 on the drums. I'm not knocking off ever more than about a dB, and on L2 I try to keep it about dB and a half, unless I'm doing like a Euro dance thing or something, or like if I'm working with Alex the Kid or somebody that's really using L2. Of course, it's different. Then they kind of set the guideline about what we do with L2. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you soon. Back to you, Dave.